Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty of the count of strangulation or suffocation and not guilty of the count of assault and battery. So say you, Madam Forelady?
Yes.
So say all members of the jury?
Yes.
So if you guys haven't heard of this case, so his personal, former in-person chef named Jamaica Adams had a type of dispute with him, alleging that he did not pay her 2 out of the 3 weeks of a paycheck. So it was kind of some financial disputes, which ultimately led to him allegedly slapping her and then choking her out. So the trial occurred. Allegedly the trial was not that long, it was very short. And throughout the trials, we've seen that there has been multiple cases of her either providing inconsistent information or just blatantly lying. One notable lie being the fact that Stefon Diggs did in fact pay her the 2 out of the 3 paychecks that he owed her.
And it turned out, Ms. Adams, you had gotten paid for 2 of the 3 weeks that you said you hadn't gotten paid for, right?
This is missing a whole lot of stuff.
The answer, no question.
I can't answer your question correctly without proper evidence.
And you write to Sonny, hey, so I looked over my transfers, payment history, and they said payments, 11/7 and 11/21, totaling $4,000. See that?
Yes.
So you knew that you had actually been paid for 2 of those 3 weeks that you tried to get paid for again, right?
What's your name? I never got your name.
Did you know?
I don't know. I was trying to address you by your name because I don't know.
You knew on December 9th that you had been paid for 2 of the 3 weeks you said you hadn't been paid for, didn't you?
I don't understand the question.
You just acknowledged you wrote it to Sonny.
Another piece of damning evidence was the fact that there was a video clip of the alleged victim dancing in a room shortly after the alleged assault occurred. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was a woman that was allegedly strangled by a professional male athlete of his size, I would probably be way too disoriented to even be moving like the way that she is. But I don't know, that's just me. Now, if you take into consideration as well, and most notably, the relationship between these two people.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated. It started out as friends. We met, became sexual, and we would meet up, hang out, and we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
It starts to paint a very apparent image of the alleged victim and the implications of why this case occurred the way that it occurred. Now I can show you multiple more clips of her blatantly contradicting herself or presenting inconsistent testimony or refusing to answer the questions directly, frequently using the "I don't understand" rebuttal, and moments where the judges and the jury had to reprimand her for constantly dodging the questions. But it just shows fundamentally throughout this case that there is not really a strong case to be had to begin with. It was fundamentally kind of a waste of everybody's time, taxpayer money, energy, effort. Her defense team did not have a very strong case to begin with. They didn't even seemingly come prepared for this trial because they were not prepared for the jury, or not the jury, the prosecutors having all these receipts of her lies and inconsistencies. And overall, it just makes her look like a scorned woman who was bitter that she was not chosen as the main one in his relationship. Especially considering that there are alleged accusations of Stefon Diggs having multiple relationships with multiple of his female in-person staff. Alleged, we don't know about that, but I would just say this, that despite the fact that she absolutely should be held accountable for making these fraudulent claims and weaponizing the courts to tear this man down and jeopardize his career, we also have to point out how foolish and idiotic Stefon is for engaging in very unprofessional relationships with his female staffs. Like, you need to exercise some level of sexual discipline. Like, this is ridiculous. And there needs to be people in his lives, the people who genuinely care about him, they need to reprimand him for not having enough sexual restraint and control to not sleep around with a bunch of random women. Especially, again, his not his co-workers, his staff. Any female staff, like, come on. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not trying to victim blame, because she absolutely scummy for weaponizing the courts in this way. Because if she truly was the victim of strangulation, like, there would have been medical reports. She would have accessed the hospital records. She would have, or not accessed the hospital records. She would have gone to the hospital and get those medical records. She would have taken the pictures of the wounds. There would have been clear evidence presented in this case. Because you can prove strangulation very easily. But the fact that she didn't opt to do that, not to mention that she initially was going to do a civil suit for the financial dispute, but decided to change her mind and pursue criminal charges for the alleged physical assaults. Like, you would think that you and your defense team would at least actually produce a solid defense and have their evidence aligned and managed.